Well, hello folks. This is Iron Bill back again with another video, and what a week it has been in Bungie. We have had a pretty good first week of the season, of the Chosen, I should say. And yeah, checking my recording, always have to do that. Anyway, I made 1300 base power level, the first soft cap, I guess is what you call it. On one character. Now, I had a couple guys, going after me a little bit about not maxing out my power level efficiently. Probably not. One of the questions was, where did you leave your first character? And I left it at 1285 and got a, kind of, I knew where he was going with it. It's like, I should have done better. And he's right. I mean, if I was really trying hard to be the most efficient I could be, I would have done that. But that's not who I am, and that's not really what I'm going after in this game right now. I mean, when I first started Destiny in Destiny 1, absolutely. And it was more necessary then, because in Destiny 1, oh, I'm sorry, I need to play this. In Destiny 1, if you didn't play that, okay, your power leveling was different. Back then, you'd have been about 27, 28, 29-ish, whatever. 30 was the absolute power cap. And there wasn't the light aspect the way it is now. I mean, you couldn't get by the cap with 10 additional points or anything like that. It was just structured differently. Anyway, there was a vast difference between 30 and 29, and even more so from 29 to 28. And the raids were set up for recommended for 30, and you could do them at 29 if you were on your game. It could be tough, but you could do it. At 28, the way the Omega worked on the weapon damage, I guess that's what it's called. Delta. I'm sorry, the Delta. The way the Delta worked on that, which is, the power drop off, depending upon your power level, you could be doing 10 times less damage just for dropping a power level. And at 3 levels below, you couldn't damage the enemy at all. I mean, you would just see question marks over their head because you could not damage them. And you'd get people who would say, hey, can you carry me? Can you carry me? I'm at 27. Can you get me through the raid? And a 4-man team that was good could get you through Vault of Glass, even when it was pretty tough. But it got to the place, though, where if you weren't on your game, I mean, 27 could really hurt you. And Crota was even worse because of mechanics. Anyway, why I'm talking about that now is that, where we are in the game now in terms of the power level, it's not that big of a deal whether you're even within 10 points of the cap. It's just not that big of a deal. It's more like, an incentive to play, something else to get, an award, if you will, that has meaning. I mean, it sort of. I always want to be the max level I can be, and I will always do activities that will take me to that point, and I feel it when it's gone. When you max out all your characters and you've got pretty much all the weapons that you care to boost up boosted, once you get to that place, then yeah, the game feels a lot emptier. And so I'm glad that it will be tougher to get from 1300 to 1310 than it did from 12. I think I was at 1259. I didn't get quite to 1260 to 1300. I mean, it should slow down, and I'm okay with that. And I'm a casual guy, and I'm going to do casual stuff, and occasionally I'll do some Pinnacle stuff with some friends, but for the most part, I'm just in here to relax. So when the fellow, was kind of coming after me in a friendly way, and he wasn't being a jerk or anything. I mean, he was just kind of coming after me like, oh, why'd you do it that way? And he just didn't understand, my perspective. And we just approach the games differently. I mean, he's maxing out, for Grandmaster Nightfalls and, raids and top level gear, because that's the kind of player he is, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just that there's room for that, and there's room for the way I want to play too. So other news, I was thinking that I had not gotten my resolution up on my play above 1080p, and I was wrong. I was wrong. I've been noticing that when my system starts up, it's 4K at 60, or a refresh rate of 60. So I see when I hooked up the system, it didn't work with the cable they provided. So I grabbed another HDMI cable that I had on hand, but I don't think it wasn't the high quality type necessary. It didn't spec out, but or at least it wasn't labeled as such. It wasn't the latest level of HDMI cable, but apparently it worked because yeah, I'm getting 4K resolution. So what you're seeing here filmed is actually high resolution at yeah, 60 frames per second, I think is what it is, 60 frames per second. So PvP, I don't know. What I would like to do, and I can't seem to do it, and I don't know if it's a bug, is I would like to go into settings and see if I could find out specifically where my resolution sits in game. But I don't know, the interface, I'm not used to it yet, and it's not like it was in the past where or like it is on computer where you can manually select, and I guess that's what I'm thinking of. On computer you can manually select whatever resolution you want to go into, and here basically I've just been able to choose the size of my screen edges, and basically that's about it. So I'm wondering if maybe, I mean, I know there's an issue with some games on PS5s loading up with PS4 settings or loading the PS4 version of the game. This is not the PS4 version of the game, although I had trouble at first because I installed the game using the PS4 disc, and I probably should have just downloaded it. Water under the bridge, and I'm kind of mumbling on that. The end of it is that I'm getting better resolution than I thought it was initially, and the gameplay is just glassy smooth. It never, no matter what's going on, it never bogs down below what you're seeing right now. It just doesn't stutter. Except if I'm doing match-made stuff and I'm moving from one zone to another and one of the players is on a PS4, there'll just be a slight pause. I mean, just like that, and then it's over. Getting into menus right now, it's in and out just as effortlessly as it is on PC, and I couldn't be happier. You could not build a computer that would play as well as this for the money that I spent buying this. It's a no-brainer as far as an investment is concerned. And when I heard the price announced initially, way back when, I just invested in a video card for my computer, so I was thinking, well, I just did this so I could game on PC. How do I justify a console as well? And I don't know. I had time to think on that, and eventually just got to the place where I said, yep, I'm going to do it, and I did, and I'm so glad I have. So where we go from here, I've gotten most of the things done for the week. I've gotten everything done on other than raiding on my Warlock. I've got just a couple of minor things left to do, although I've got Wrathborn hunts I could do to get some powerful gear, and it might raise me a little. And I'm going to do that on like my hunter, which is the character I started with, and bring it up to level. And I actually I did quite a bit tonight. This is the point in time where I go into the season rewards and start pulling armor down, so I kind of max or level everything so that though it's not the highest power level yet, it's at a place where a pinnacle can have a real impact. And, I want to have no big gaps between my armors. So I think right now they're at my armor power level is at 1286 on my hunter. 1293. And so like if I had any gaps in that, like if I had a 1286 bond of some kind and maybe a 1275 chest piece or something like that, then I would want to find those pieces and bring them up to the 293 or 1293. So anyway, that's just how the system works. I forgot I was on Chaos Reach on the Warlock. And I went up there to throw a top tree Dawnblade, And that's what I wound up with. Although it worked out because I thought, okay, if we can just put a little bit more into him, just toss a grenade, whatever, and then I get zapped by a rocket launcher. But apparently somebody was nearby to hit it with something else. Ordinarily, I wouldn't have stayed there if I didn't know where the guy was. But it worked out. Anyway, I'm real happy with the way things are right now. And I'm playing with people again, which is something I haven't been able to do for a while, really. A lot of that has to do with circumstances at home right now. The weather's awful. We're about to get another 4 to 7 inches of snow, which will probably keep me off work for the first part of next week. And so I'll have some extra time to play. Sorry I'm not posting a lot of content at the moment. It's, we're kind of in that place in the season where, you're just getting things sorted out. But anyway, I'm liking a lot of the new weapons. I'm liking the activities, the battleground. It's just a lot of fun. It's a way to just kill some time. So I will be happy to see some new ones introduced. So there's more of a rotation like the strike list. And we'll see. Oh, and speaking of strikes, the Fallen Saber, I've been wondering why that hasn't come up in the strike list. Well, there's a bug in it, and Bungie is working on that. So they say they've identified what the problem is, and they're working on a fix. What that means, we'll see. But I would expect it's going to be a few weeks before we see that one actually in a rotation. So, all right. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you next time around. This is Iron Bill signing out.